We've returned from Jackson's orchard with all of our bounty, lots of fresh tomatoes and apples fresh off the trees. We're going to be making salsa, applesauce, and apple cider over the next few days. Join us in the outdoor kitchen while we do our canning at Kowalski Mountain.
All right, because they're pulling too fast.
So we finally got the timing down to how long we need to keep the tomatoes in the hot water so they're peeling a lot better. So seeding the tomatoes is completely optional. Most people don't seed their tomatoes when they're making salsa, but it's my personal preference, so I take the time to seed them. I don't get crazy about it. I just seed them the best I can to get the bulk of them out. And I'm actually pretty impressed with these tomatoes. I have no idea what kind they are, but they're really, really meaty tomatoes. So we're almost done with the tomatoes. We've got 16 cups of chopped tomatoes for the salsa, and then we've been putting the rest to the side. We have probably 10 or 11 more cups of tomatoes, and if we have enough peppers and onions, we'll go ahead and make more salsa. Now these tomatoes are really meaty, which is what I like about them. They're gonna cook down really good. I'm really happy with these tomatoes we bought. We bought seconds at Jackson's Orchard, so we got a reduced price. But we did have to use them right away because they are going to go bad more quickly. But salsa tonight with supper. Alright, the next step is we're going to chop the peppers. For this double batch we need 3 cups. We do have some reserved tomatoes off to the side that we're hoping to have enough to add into it, so we'll see how far we can get. We're also going to do 3 cups of onions to this batch. Now we're chopping up some onions, and we still have to chop up the jalapenos. Now jalapenos you have to be careful with or you'll burn your eyes, get on your skin. We do need to find a glove for that, so we're going to do that, and we're going to continue on with salt. Alright, so now I'm cutting up the jalapenos, and I'm wearing a glove because the oils do burn your skin, and I don't want to do that. And then we'll get these cut up and add it to the salsa. We need 1.5 cups, but I think we're going to run a little short. The last time I made this salsa, it was way too spicy, so this will be a little bit more mild, but it will still be delicious. So it's time to add the spices to the salsa. I'm going to add some tomato paste and tomato sauce. We're a little short on the tomato paste, so I'm using the tomato sauce as a substitute for that. And the apple cider vinegar. We did end up making a triple batch of the salsa. We were able to get enough tomatoes for that. Cumin, oregano, cayenne pepper, salt, and garlic. Now I really like garlic, so you just put that in estimate. That's hot again. Now I do have my jars sterilizing in the back, and I've got to get some more salt from the house, and then we're going to get this cooking. This cooks only for about 30 minutes once it comes to a boil, and then we'll be canning it. Oh, I got distracted there. So not all homesteaders sterilize their jars anymore. If your processing time is more than 10 minutes, the USDA is saying you do not need to sterilize your jars. I just like to. It makes me feel good. I sterilize them ahead of time. They're hot. They're ready to be used. That's my timer that they're done. But it's just my preference to go ahead and sterilize them. So we're going to get that salt and we're going to get this going. All right, so the salsa is on the burner. Gonna stir it up a little bit.
So did you add any juices other than the vinegar?
Nope.
So it kind of cook down to make it kind of juicy?
Yes. So I'm taking the cover off of this. It's not reducing as much as I want with the cover on it. It's staying pretty juicy and I want it to reduce down a little bit. So we're going to cook it for a while with the cover off. There's no worries about us being a little low on jalapenos. This is going to be plenty spicy. So the salsa's been cooking an hour and a half?
An hour and a half.
Probably an hour and a half. It's still a lot more watery than I really want, but it's not getting better. So we're just going to ladle up to 1/2 inch to the top. And I typically eyeball it, but it is important. And this, to measure it, see how this second step?
Oh, yep.
So we can actually go a little bit more in that one. And eyeballing it is still fine, like I get it too. So I'm happier with that. And then the other end is a bubble tool. So we want to get all the bubbles out of it. And you just kind of go around the edge to do that. And then your cloth, we're just going to wipe off the edge really well. So that there's no contaminant between the seal. And then put the lid on. And you tighten it to what they call fingertips, just like that. You don't want to screw it down so tight. It has a little expansion to it, it's supposed to. And then once that's full, put it right back in. Yep. And we just keep going. So which task would you like? Would you like ladling? Would you like lids? What would you like?
I guess I'll ladle.
Ladle.
It's gotta be fast.
Yeah. Salsa's gonna be, cider. So we're keeping the jars in the water bath canner because I took them all out and they cooled off really quickly. Alrighty, the timer has beeped and it's time to pull these out. you want to try to keep it as level as possible, go ahead and get that one out first. So if you can hear them popping, which probably not over the auger, the jars are sealing, which is great. That's exactly what we want them to do. Once they cool, we're going to remove the rings. They'll be shelf stable, and then we can use this. They recommend up to a year. I guarantee salsa does not last a year on the shelf. So we're going to go ahead and sterilize the next batch of jars, and then we are going to finish up.